What's up, ladies? So, we're going to actually finally tear into this thing a little bit today. So, what we're working on is the stator. Let me show you what we're doing here. So, what we need to do is we need to take this thing off to be able to look underneath and see what's actually wrong with the whole stator assembly here. And forgive me because I don't know what the heck I'm doing at all. I think that's probably what's going to be entertaining about this is I don't know what I'm doing. So, got myself a little manual here, and it's got all the good instructions of what to do. The thing that's irritating about the manual is that it tells you how to take stuff apart, and they're basically like, oh yeah, if stuff's bad, just replace it with parts. And I'm like, well, this bike's old as crap, so there's really not parts out there. So that part is going to be interesting. Trying to either find an old used part from eBay or trying to rebuild this and figure out how to make it work. Because that manual is good at telling you how to, like, very basically how to take stuff apart and put it back together. But it doesn't tell you how to fix things if they're just screwed up. By the way, I have, like, the actual stator slash flywheel puller. We'll have to see if that's even the right size. I don't know. So, first step is to get this nut off of the outside of here. I'll show you. So, got to take that nut off. Sorry about the trains. I can't do anything about it. Trust me, I wish they would shut up as well. What I heard is that apparently if you put this thing into gear and then hold the brake or something, apparently you can make it so that this doesn't spin. We're going to learn together, folks. Well, that definitely ain't doing it. Well, this is going to be fun to figure out. It's continuing to spin. Hey, book. This trick doesn't work. You lied to me. Let's see what the book says. Hold the alternator rotor with a universal holder. I don't know what that means. You can also use a strap wrench. Don't have one of them. If you don't have one of these tools and the engine is in the frame, the rotor can be locked by placing the transmission in gear and holding the rear brake on. Can it though? What's up, ladies? It's a new day. So, the other day, nothing seemed to be working with me, but I was able to actually figure out what I needed to do to get that magneto or whatever off. So, as you might be able to see, I was able to get that off of there. Here it is. If you don't have an impact wrench, then I don't know how you're going to be able to do it. I finally went and actually bought one, and I have to say it was amazing. So, basically, if I walk you through this here, what happened was this little nut here was on the outside of the magneto, holding it on, and well, helping to hold it on, and then also you got to use this this tool here to actually get the whole thing off. So now we got to figure out exactly why this thing isn't working, and I don't know if this stator is the reason why the bike's not working or not. We're gonna find out. I feel so entirely lost because I've never done any of this stuff like this before. I've especially never messed with electrical stuff. So what I'm gonna try to do here is I can see that, first of all, these almost look like they were redone in some sort of way. And then I'm just gonna follow the wires here, and you see this, like, this total mess here. I'm gonna try to undo that mess and see if there are some spots. See if there are some spots that I can start testing to see if this stator even works or what. I mean, I don't even know much about electronics on vehicles or anything, but this is, like, for me, a level of butchery that I feel like I haven't seen. So I just undid all this freaking garbage that was wrapped around all these wires here. And check this out. No no connectors, no nothing. Like somebody just took the wires. I hope that's zooming. It's like zoomed in enough on them, or focused enough on them. But this is the wiring that is going on this bike right now. Like, no wonder stuff's not working. What the heck, dude? So I dove into this bad boy. Turns out it's got a lot of really good information in it. So I've got all the resistance numbers that I need to test, and then it's also got a wiring diagram in the back, and it's going to tell me what every single little stupid wire in here that is wired terribly, what they mean, and how much resistance should go to each and every of everything. So start with a stator and everything that has to do with it, and make sure that's putting out the right ohms, and then we'll go from there. So I'm excited because of the fact that I'm excited because of the fact that I just learned something about this bike. The dude who owned it before me, good God. I mean, like, so, okay. I was looking at the wiring diagram. This guy told me this is a 92 bike, right? The wiring diagram from a 92 and later YZ125 is completely different from the wiring of previous bikes, like a 1990, which this one is, and I just found out. The guy told me it's a 92, and he's wrong. So, the way that I found that out was because of the fact that I'm looking at the wiring diagram here, and it just doesn't, it's not adding up. So this wiring diagram doesn't match up with this bike, because this bike has different wires, like different colored wires than what's in here, and I'm like, I'm just sitting here staring at it like, what is going on? And then for some reason, something in my head said, let me check the other wiring diagrams for other years of YZ125s. And boom, the one for the YZ125 86 through 87 and 90 through 91 matches the exact wires that I have here completely. Then I'm thinking, okay, that would add up, because the guy who had this seemed to be a complete idiot, didn't know what the heck was going on with this bike. Okay, I can't say he's an idiot. He didn't know what was going on with this bike at all. And so then I checked the VIN, and lo and behold, this is actually a 1990. I thought maybe it was a 91, maybe it was a year off, but it's 2 years off. So I'm excited to know that. I didn't know that it was going to matter so much, but the way that the wiring goes here, it's like, I don't know. I feel like now that I'm explaining it, it wasn't such a big breakthrough, but it actually kind of was. So maybe the lesson learned is double check the VIN to make sure that you know exactly what year the bike is before you start working on it. No matter what the owner says the year was, doesn't matter. It doesn't necessarily mean they're right, because I forget what years my other two bikes are. I'm like, I don't know, they're like a 14, 13, something like that, somewhere around that era, you know. So anyway, minor breakthrough, because I was having like a whole crisis looking at the wiring diagram and looking at the wires, looking back at the wiring diagram, looking at the wires. I could not figure out what on earth was not adding up, because these wires here were a completely different color, and I'm like, if they're a different color, if somebody just completely redid the whole wires with different colors, like, what am I going to do then? So anyway, I'm happy. On to testing the wires now. Wow, it is so much easier to make progress whenever you actually know what bike you're working on. So I feel like I've made significant progress today. I figured out maybe one of the reasons that this bike doesn't want to run is because of the fact that the wiring is absolute garbage. Just horrendous. So here's our little stator, whatever you want to call it. Took it all apart, tested it. It seems to be fine. It doesn't look fine, but it seems to actually be putting out the resistance that it's supposed to. So what I'm thinking about doing at this point is I'm gonna, not today, but I've already made some progress today. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna test every single part of the electronics on this and make sure everything's working the way that it should be, see if I need to replace anything. And then after that, put it all together in a way that makes sense. Put it all together to where like it actually has real connectors rather than using electrical tape. I mean, it's not hard. Like, that's the whole thing to me, is like, it's not hard to get good connectors and like put them together in a way that makes sense. Like, why did you just throw electrical tape around it? Like, that's not gonna work at all. And then also, these spare wires here go to the kill switch. So, what's happening? I'm so confused. They put a brand new spark plug and a brand new spark plug wire on it, though, so... I don't know, dude. This thing is hilarious to me. I'm sure that I'm going to have so much more crap that doesn't make any sense, but I feel like I made some progress today. So yeah, that's, I don't know, day 2 of this. We'll continue another day. All right, bye.